the fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to planes. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tools. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I Shawn, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in the Rally Radio.
Where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Woo, 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 woo. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know what it is, man. It's the bearded one in the building, and we got a special guest today. My guy, Wings Liddy, is in the building. Let's go. We talking crazy today. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know what it is, the bearded one here. We appreciate everybody who tuned in to Rally Radio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Find us on YouTube at Rally Radio Podcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Rally Radio Podcast and Gutterball Rally, and also Facebook at Gutterball Rally. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention, man. Sorry for the late start. You already know what it is. Got caught up at the J.O.B., but made my way on out. And not for nothing, found out at the end of the day that my special guest has something he gonna want to share with us in a little minute. Look like he copped something real nice. He don't have to talk about it. Shout out to my guy Parker. Tuned in early. What's good? And don't forget, we're gonna have a great we got a great couple shows lined up. We got some great interviews coming up. First off, before we even start, I want to give a shout out to Wayne Speed. Shout out to Wayne Speed for showing up last week. It was a tremendous show. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, don't forget you can find us on our YouTube at Rally Radio Podcast. And we're going to be publishing that one also on Spotify and wherever else you can find podcasts. That's what we do now. Now we putting them out just the not the video, but also just the words. If that makes any sense. Shout out to my guy Liddy, man. He got me over here acting crazy already. Red Cup is in the building. Shout out to my guy Tiny Red Cup Affair. Don't forget to check my guy out, man. And remember this, it's called Rally Radio because we originated as a radio show. Shout out to my guy Dolph Spalding in the building. That's my guy, man. And I swear he be here early. Shout out to my guy Tiny. I swear he gonna live forever, man. We just brought him up. My guy Tiny, Red Cup Affair. Looks like we having our own little red cups today, but that's my guy, man. Don't forget to check my guy, Red Cup Affair. Tisha Adelaide's Red Cup Affair. Sundays, 10 p.m. Trust me. You're going to love it. With that being said, man, we in the building. We are setting it off. Car show season. Wings Liddy, what it is?
I had to show up in here, because I have ascended from an SI to a little bit of a new surprise.
Woo! I like the way that sounds, Shawn. So, with that being said, before we even get into that, because that's going to be part of our little interview that we're going to have today. You're going to have to talk about this a little bit. We got some other things we want to talk about now. We got our little cold start that we're going to be going with today, man. And like I said, the thing about it, everybody sees the weather is warm. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with us, who's tuned in, who's paying attention. I know you already see it. Shout out to my guy, Miller Time, NYC. Miller Time.
Regular on the show that from what I've been watching.
Let's go. Yes, Miller Time is a regular. That's my guy, man. Let's go. Shout out to Miller Time NYC. So last week we had our very first speed and greet, right?
Mm-hmm. Heard I missed that. I did miss that.
Don't worry, you won't. We're gonna have a couple more.
Okay.
We do a speed and greet every month between April and October.
Mm-hmm. All right, no worries.
So with that being said, we seen everybody show up. Shout to my guy, Kev Parade, aka the instructor. That's what we go. That's his new name, the instructor. Let's go. Shout to my guy, Kev Parade, in the building. So what's up, man? Listening while I wrench on the Grandpa Mobile. Nah. Shout to Kev, because he's like everybody else in the building. He got a lot of projects, and so do I. And a lot of, at the end of the day, we all suffer from it. I call it's car stuff. Let's go. Shout out to my guy Militime and the fam. And shout to my guy Draco. What's going on, Draco? Draco out there in the garage wrenching. And he my guy, so I can tease him. Because I know he going to get me later. Yo,
Draco with the wrench sounds crazy, though.
Yo.
That sounds crazy.
I know it sounds crazy. I said, no, but he is wrenching. He was wrenching in the garage. Pause. I know that sounds wild, but that's my guy. But he was running into a couple issues with his car, and it was very interesting. It was like, this is the stuff that we go through just trying to get these cars on the road. Shout to Kev, because Kev is doing the same thing. Draco's in the garage. This is what it is. And to tell you the truth, it's a perfect day for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I will say at the end of the day, shout out to everybody who's tuned there paying attention. Draco said, you ever had a mistress that chatter for no reason? Oh, no, I never had a mistress, brother. I never had a mistress. Don't get me in trouble.
I'm not married, so I don't know what a mistress is.
Listen.
Real talk.
Listen, it is what it is. Shout out to Kev Parade, a.k.a. the instructor. He's in the building. It's going to be we're going to have a good show today. Sorry for the late tardiness, starting late, but today, it was so beautiful. It was almost like a debate because this is what we live for as car guys.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? We live for this. We live for this kind of weather when it's beautiful outside.
Bro, 50 degrees and better.
Oh.
50 degrees and better is, it smells crisp. You smell that?
Word.
Yo, it feels like the road needs to get a little bit warm.
That's what and not for nothing, even when I went in the garage, started the bike up. Oh my God. I was like, yo. And then when it was 67 degrees when I walked out the house. So that right there was like, but I said, you know what? I wanted to do the show because I wanted this to show my appreciation for Wayne Speed that came through. And also the instructor, Kev, he came through the week prior. Got a lot of interesting content out of that too. I got to get to that and make sure that y'all see that because he was talking about a lot of things. You know what I mean? Shout to my guy Zoom for Zoom. He's tuned in. You already know what it is. We in the building. Shout to Kev. He said, yo, even if you got a mistress, because like Shaggy said, it wasn't me. That is a fact. It is what it is. But we are here. So we're going to set it off with our cold start. You know how we get down, man. We got a call already.
I wonder who that may be.
Rally Radio, who we got in the box? Is that Draco? What's going on, Draco?
Draco with the
Draco.
Don't break nobody. Don't break nobody, please.
So what we got, Draco? I'm glad I got you on the phone because I can't front. Just watching that live. Shout out to everybody who's paying attention. If you're not a member of the group, Gutter Ball Rally, the community, you're missing out. This is where we get a lot of our information. A lot of us send information back and forth. We see things about people's cars. And we were just watching a live with Draco, who just happened to have an issue with his car. Speak on it a little bit, Draco. Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Okay. And
It's chatter. I don't know what that is.
Hold on, let me see something. Can y'all hear the caller? They said they can't hear the caller. Hold on, Draco. I don't know what's going on with these phones. I feel like we just checked it before we got in here.
You definitely did.
Definitely hear a ring. Shout out to everybody who's tuned there paying attention. I don't know what's going on there, but
Testing.
let's see. Oh, it says now we can hear him. Go ahead.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah. Real quick, I have a chatter. Anytime I depress the clutch, I change the clutch, change the throwout bearing, and the chatter actually got worse now.
Yo, and when you say the chatter got worse, yo, if y'all didn't see the video, he let go of the clutch. You know, you heard. I was like,
yeah.
Whoa.
My baby's back talking to me. I was like, yo, what's going on?
She ain't your look. She like this. You done left me in this garage all this time. Yo, I'm gonna tell you,
Literally.
kid, I'm trying to I'm reviving a project right now with the CRX. I'm reviving it, and it's like nothing wants to work. And I feel like these cars take it personal. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. They can hear you live now, Draco. So what do you think the problem is?
I don't even know. I hope not it's not the shaft.
Pause.
That means
that was
Whoa, I gotta take the transmission down again.
I hope it's not the shaft either.
Wow.
And I gotta change it.
So check this out.
Like if
Kev said, he said, your flywheel both loose.
Nah.
Or even your starter gear might be stuck. But your car started right up though.
Starts right up.
Right.
No
So I
problem.
don't know if it's the get. Because even though the starter
it's
may have
only
teeth,
when I press it in.
Okay. Damn.
So if I hold my foot down on the clutch, I don't hear no noise at all.
Shout to Marlon, resident Toyota guy. He says something's loose. Shout to Coach.
Yeah.
Shout to my guy Dave.
That's an extensive way. You have to have somebody outside checking to see what's knocking what. That's crazy. I never heard that before.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, that sounds like I hate to say it, but it sounds like it's one of those situations you may have to take everything apart
and put it right back together.
And
it looks like I'm gonna have to take everything back down. My worst fear is the input shaft has a wobble in it. It's bent. If that's the case, I might as well start saving for the 6-speed get rag.
Oh,
because it's gonna cost us the same thing just to rebuild the transmission.
So you definitely think it's the transmission though?
It's the only thing left. I changed the clutch. Now that I learned how to use a torque wrench, I'm torque wrench happy. So I know I torqued the pressure plate in.
Okay.
And all that stuff good. The only thing that's maybe original, because my car shares the same slave cylinder with the super transmission. So it could be the slave cylinder.
Shout to Kev. He said, does the transmission have a shaft retainer like a T5?
I don't even know what a shaft retainer is, son.
Harbor Freight torque wrench for the win. Let's go. He's right. I got so many tools from Harbor Freight, kid. I saved some dollars on the jack, B. I will say this though, Draco. Sounds like our next speed and greet is gonna be at your garage.
Yo,
helping you out, kid.
Anybody want to come here after the show? You're welcome.
Much appreciated, dogs. Much appreciated.
You gotta have libations.
This is the first day of spring. I call it Happy New Car Season Day.
As long as you got some iced tea, bro, we living. We living.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I will say this though, Draco. At the end of the day, watching your project has inspired me, like I said, to get started on my own.
Yeah.
And like I said, to the point now where it's like now or never. Just like you said, it's now or never. So I see
now or never, man.
that you're working hard, but I know it sucks when everything is not working at one time. Shout out to Kev. He said, once my Cadillac is done, I'll load the trunk with them tools because you're going to need help. You're going to need help, Draco.
Support vehicle. Yeah, but not to cut the topic. What's the topic today?
Today's topic is car show season.
Oh,
car show season is
Rick
here. Let's go. Can we get a clap out for that? Cool.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But the real question is, I'm glad I got you on. This is for the cold start. You know, this is what we like to do. Mm-hmm. Do car shows motivate you, Draco?
Yeah, they do. You can always find something. Like I said, I'm one of those one car forever project. And you could always find something you could add to the car. You go, oh, that's cool. Let me try that.
Mm-hmm.
Rick's, the one they had at what is that? Resorts World? Yeah. The last one last year?
Yeah.
When I went there and I saw them, how they put the subs in the back seats, I was like, yo, nobody can sit back there anyway. Why not? And
shout to Rick's Magazine. Because you're trying to get them in the building too.
Yeah. So you can always find some little thing to improve.
So my thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to car shows, it depends on the grade of car show. There's certain places that I haven't been that I want to go. Obviously, the Japan Auto Salon. I would love to go to that car show that they have in January.
That was nice.
I would love to go to SEMA. I've never been. Right, and I know it's kind of those you got to be invited kind of thing. But hopefully, if they're paying attention, we could get ourselves a media pass because we are Rally Radio. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
But also, like when I see the grade of show, it's like that really determines like how I feel. Like if I see the same cars, same things being built, I love to see. And you know, this is just me now because I got my hands on this Lexus LS 400 93. That we got some content coming with that. I'm really into the older luxury vehicles. What is that?
You gonna do VIP?
Yo, so originally the plan for my Infiniti M35 was that. And it's like, you know, now it's like, but this LS 400 is a totally different animal, man.
It sure is.
And on top of that, right? And I'm not gonna kill it for anybody who wants to watch the videos that we're gonna put up on it, but it has everything that you would want. And this is a 93. What is a? And you know my favorite one is the 430 with the big headlight, like the 90s. I want not 96, 96 to 2000. The big headlight. I love those.
Those are nice.
Those are nice.
So I gotta say that I love the luxury.
What color is it? I didn't see the video yet. What color is it?
So, you ready for this? Oh man, I don't want to kill it for everybody. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. It is indigo blue.
All right.
It's indigo blue with blue leather
Black.
interior and walnut interior.
That's classics.
That's classic.
No.
Now, what I didn't know about the indigo blue is that Lexus only did the indigo blue from 93 to 94. Wow. So that makes the biggest 93 to 94. The 93 is the better one out of the all 4 years because or 94 rather. That's when they redid the brakes, made bigger brakes, better suspension tweaks. Yeah. They did over 50 different tweaks on this Lexus from 91, 92 to 93.
They had to.
Right,
it was going into a different time because remember 93. That's when the Maximas really started hitting. That's when all these. That's when all these American brand cars just started hitting certain speeds and certain raw horsepower. But you know what though? You know what? Shout to Wings Liddy. You already know what it is. But you know what? What really was a big deal with that thing though? The fact that the S5, you had the S500, you had the BMW 750 IL. This car was competing with those. So that was Toyota's competition, and we all know Toyota spent so much money on R&D on this car that it's unheard of. They didn't even really make money. The whole thing was when they was introducing a new brand because Lexus came. That's when Lexus really came out. Yeah. It was and the LS 400 was the flagship, and we already know what Toyota is gonna do. Shout to my guy Sales in the building. AKA Scuba Steve is in the building. My guy be swimming with the shark. Yo, not for nothing. Shout to my guy Sales. I was talking to him one time. I'm at work. I said, "Yo, you ever go diving and you be afraid of like big sharks?" He said, "Yo," he said, "the big animals." He said, "We could look over there and see them. We turn back, they be right here." I said, "Yo, nah." So shout to my guy. Brave heart. Word up. Nah. But I will say
so Bearded, you got the Street Fighter joint, big one.
What you mean?
In the Street Fighter game, with play.
Right, exactly. When you beat the car,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I will say though, at the end of the day, I can't wait to like really like this car is like when you it just has a nostalgia to it. So now I find myself following BBS boys. Shout to NTP.
Oh, they on point.
Yeah, cause now I'm having conversations with him, and he got he had a right hand drive SL 500 manual. How?
Well, he found that at.
I have no clue.
For real.
I have no. So when I hear about cars like that now, I'm really more because it's like I'm really more into that. So when I go to the car shows and I see the VIP, the
There you
slam,
go.
not stupid cambered, but slightly cambered with the setup in the back for the drinks, like you driving somebody around.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. So I love car shows. Shout to Rick's Magazine because we will be in the building tomorrow.
Oh, they got something tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. They at Resorts World tomorrow. If you didn't know, they are at Resorts World and it's popping. 9 a.m.
What's
is
the time?
the roll
I'm in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, this is why we wanted to talk about it today. Because at the end of the day, I can't wait. I love Rick's Magazine's car shows. The one they did at Green Acres, man, it's just the way that the vibe. It was all through the parking lot. It was tremendous. So
I tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not fat, I'll come in my gutter ball t-shirt. How about that?
Yo, my God, Draco! Let's go, Draco. I tell you what. Hold on to it though, because we got some more merch coming. We got something else that we're working on now. Now that we have things in motion, things are really moving for us. We got some other things in motion, so you ain't gonna have to squeeze into that shirt too long. You already know what it is.
You got the coupe version?
Huh?
You got the coupe version?
Nah, LS only 400 is 4 doors.
Oh,
yeah.
You're fancy.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
You're fancy.
Yo, Draco comes with you know it comes with the 1UZ V8.
Word.
Shout to my guy Reeps. He told this. My guy Reeps is in the building. Let's go, Reeps.
I was gonna swap that, you know.
Huh?
I was gonna try to put that in.
What the in your I ain't gonna lie.
V8.
That's probably the only other thing that would be more impressive.
There's a guy that did it, but he was only getting up to 400 something horses. And I was like, that's a lot of work just to get to 400.
Nah, shout to Wayne Speed. I spoke to him about the 1UZ, and he was like, 750, 800 on the tune with work, obviously. But he said dudes is turbocharging him. Oh, man, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Because you know that's what happens, right? We get something, not impressed with it, we do more. You feel what I'm saying?
And when you do more, you're going to realize.
Don't forget the little CRX.
Oh, see, here we go. See, Draco.
I'm gonna keep you honest on that, sir.
He keep me honest. He keep me at the 3-point line. He like
I have learned when you do more with cars, there's more that needs to be done because at the end of the day is I put this turbo in. All right, cool. Bang, something goes out.
Yeah.
Damn, it's not matching with the turbo. So I gotta upgrade, more upgrades.
Preacher. Shout to my guy Reeps in the building. Draco, you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna get right to the show. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I know good luck. And if I can help, and I got time, I'm gonna slide through too. Cause I went to go see my man Reeps Garage. Reeps Garage was set up to a point where it was like a well-oiled machine. I know my garage.
That's not what this one is. This is the rat's nest right here.
Not everybody has them organizing skills.
Nah, I can't front. And the way Reeps was working, I see how he could get things done in a day. Like he could get I was like, wow. Yeah. So trust me when I tell you.
I know where everything is, but something. If you broke into my garage, you wouldn't know what to grab first because you don't know what is what.
So we're gonna call that organized confusion. That's what we're gonna
organized chaos. Organized chaos to be exact.
Yes.
Yeah.
With that being said, Draco, you know what it is. We're gonna get back with you and keep working, man.
Yep. All right. Later, gentlemen.
Peace. Shout to my
deuces.
Guy, man. Peace. Shout to my guy Draco in the building, man. Draco working hard, man. He working hard. Every time I see him working, he's working hard. Shout out to everybody who's paying attention. With that being said, I wanted to talk about that at Wings Liddy. Let's see what's your thoughts on that. Like, how do you feel about car shows? Do they still motivate you?
I think I gotta go every 5 years to see what's different.
So when you say that, right? When you say that, are you like when it comes to your car, right? Do you want to see your car? People do work to your car, or are you looking at purchasing something when you say every 5 years?
I'm looking at purchasing.
We gotta call it.
It's always about go ahead. It's always about purchasing for me.
Always.
Yeah, because I did the whole revamping thing and doing better and realize if I don't got a beater,
you're in trouble. Shout to my guy. Who we got on the phones? Is this I know who this is.
Hey, you know who this is.
Miller Time in
Yeah, what's going on, brother man?
My guy's too
Hey,
thick.
young fella, what's going on, man?
You
Welcome
tell
to the
us.
show.
You
I
tell
wish
us.
I was sitting right next to you.
Come on, man. You know how that goes. It's always, listen, we love to have people down here so we can get their point of view, especially you. Now, Miller Time, you've missed the speed and greet. You missed the speed and greet, and there was another F-150 out there taking your place, kid.
I saw the picture. I love it.
I was like,
I don't look at it as a replacement. I look at it as I'm passing the torch. When I'm not there, I got somebody to represent the love out there for us 150.
I respect that he knows he's the pedestal.
He said I got the crown. So. Nah, but shout to my guy Dorian, man. Shout to my guy Dorian. He came through. We had a good time, man. Don't worry, Miller. And I told you this. You know, we're gonna have multiple. You know, matter of fact, we got another one coming up real soon anyway. So you already know what it is.
Right.
So Miller Time, with that being said, first off, shout to you. Glad to hear from you. I got a question for you. We doing the Cold Star right now. Do car shows motivate you? Do you like to go to car shows for motivation or strictly to just look at cars?
You know what? We'll go with both of those answers.
Okay.
We'll go with both because they do motivate you because you always want to see what the car think. Well, remember what you used to say? Them cats down in the basement, they doing some craziness. And that's the time where that's when they shine.
They got the tires around their head. Rolling dice every night, like, yo, I'm telling you, that V8 to fit in that 1 Series. You like, yeah, okay. And they try it.
There's some splice.
So yeah, that's what. And the other thing is, like you said, Matt. Now when I went to the last auto show that I went to, they went nostalgia. They had one section where they had at least 16 to 18 different vehicles that were good back in the day, and they brought them back up so they can show that if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have what you have today.
Yes. See, now that's just what I was explaining. I have this affinity for older luxury vehicles now. It's like I can't, and it's like the more I see them, and I think it's just more because I'm into the presidential look of it.
Yeah,
because I seen this one. Yeah. Shout to there's another one that goes on Princeton Airport. I forget the name of this car show, but there's another one coming up soon. And it's this one guy. He had an Acura 3.5 TL, and it was big body, and he had the flags on the car like he was a whole president. Like, it was sick. And and ever since then, I was like, yo. How could you not love these things? Shout to Marlon. Marlon said, where was you last week, Miller? And shout to Mr. 2J Castings. You already know what it is. So with that being said, you would say you go more to look, or it's like motivation? Like first off, do you go to truck shows? That's a good question. Because he has an F-150.
Yeah, that's more his premise.
Do you go to truck shows, Miller?
I haven't to truck shows, but I always show up to go what they packing down there. Pause.
That was Miller, we can't let you go with that one. He said, I want to see what they packing down. That was crazy. That vernacular right. Miller time. Continue on.
He's cutting in and out.
Miller, you cutting in and out? Don't worry, Miller's in the basement with the tire. He's doing something to the car. You can hear us?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, there you go. Continue on, Miller.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, because I always go to the big areas I have, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and them, because they still pushing those trucks. We may not like how they are pushing them, but Ford is still honoring the V8.
Did you see the new Ford?
Toyota took a step back,
actually.
Mm-hmm.
but they do. But what they stepped back with a replacement wasn't too bad. I'm not a fan of the V6, but you got a whole V6. They got the inline V6. You know, I mean, but like my doctor said, why should we use a 6 when the 8 does it naturally? Now you heard him say that. You heard him say that.
I'm not
Shout
mad
to
at
Dr.
that.
Phil. Shout to Dr. Phil again.
That's my doctor. That's my
One third of Liddy Entertainment. Shout out to Dr. Phil.
Let's
Ready?
go.
No.
Let's go.
Where you at, dogs?
So but my brother also told me too, because my brother, he's a car guy. He's a car guy forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
But he did tell me, he said, look, don't hate on the V6. V6 is still good. You just got to get a chance. So, you know what? I'll keep that in the back of my head. But as long as my V8 is working, I really don't have to worry about the struggle.
I will tell you this, right?
And you and I both know about struggle.
They want to see the work. They want to see you bring it back. Yo, shout to my yo, let's go, fella. But I gotta say this, right? And this is all seriousness. I was watching the show the other day, and they was comparing the V8, V6, and inline 6. And you know what? And they had a real point here. Like the inline 6s seem to be more bulletproof and durable. I think if Toyota had went with an inline versus a V, they might have been in better shape. One, I believe because Toyota has already mastered the inline 6. You know what I mean? Like they've already kind of mastered it. So it's like, you know, when you think about it like that, I wonder why they didn't do that. And then on top of that, when you go V, it has a lot to do with more moving parts, which ways they going,
yeah,
you know, things of that nature, and they turbocharging. So now it's like,
but now here's the thing, right? When should a master or something, like, then you get bored of it. Like, okay, we got this. So you know what? Let me see what I could do with this V.
And show people your talent, show them the work.
Exactly. That's really what it is.
They got more work to show because they recalled all of them. Let's go, Miller. What you was about to say?
Right. and the funny thing is, at the last auto show that I was at in Javits, Toyota had the chassis exposed, and they showed the 6 that they had in there with the Tacoma that they were pushing.
Yes.
Because now that the Tacoma has it, and I may be wrong, but I'm not too sure. But the Tundra may have it too, because there's no more, because they don't do V8s at all. The last V8 they did was for 2022. Not too sure, because I spoke to the sales rep there, and she was telling me that
Toyota Tundra, that was the one prior to this. That was the last V8, and then they had a Crew Max that I've never
had a good run
seen.
Though. The Tundra had a very good run.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But have you ever seen the Crew Max, though?
Nah, I never seen that one.
I think I've seen one. It would look like a boulder on top of a truck bed. It was the cab. I've never seen a truck with a cab like that. Miller, you ever seen a Crew Max?
I'm about to.
I don't. Okay.
See, even he don't. I'm curious now.
Yeah, you hear the and he's spinning on that thing. And the funny thing is, I still plan to get a second truck. I'm just not sure whether it's going to be it's going to be a used. I still want my V8. Part belongs to my V8. Either that, or I'm going to stay with 150 hybrid.
Yo,
that's the closest I'm going to get to an EV. I ain't doing nothing past that.
First and foremost, I can't believe Miller. Hold on, man, because I got to clap it up for Miller. Because I thought the parents was going to come with you. You mean to tell me you giving up the parents?
Hell no.
I mean, you know what I mean? The parents. Sorry.
My first going to say was, man, I had a colleague of mine tell me, you know, in life, some of everything, but you need two certain things. And you need a second vehicle. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I had a couple of hiccups.
Yes.
Where my vehicle stalled on me, and the 2 vehicles that stalled on me the most was that 2004 Hyundai Santa Fe, my 1996 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. That was the Jeep that Chrysler put they back into, and that was the beast in it.
Bulletproof. Shout to yo, my homeboy Russell tried to sell me one without a title. What
type of back door?
No, he was wild. Russell was like, he said, "Yo, kid, I gotta get out of town. You just want to give me 2,800 right now." I was like, "Bruh,
you can go away."
Nah. You know what? That was my guy. I know what he was doing, but I just was like, I can't help you.
That was hot. That was hot. Yeah.
So this is the type of car you won't really see in New York City. That's why we never really see it in person.
The Crew Max.
The Crew Max? You are not going to see this. If you do see it, it's a rare situation and somebody's probably renting it.
So here's the thing that I found out about the Crew Max. It was a point where I was in the pickups. Yeah. I was going to get a Silverado. I was looking at a 1500. Then I was like the 2500 HD. I was like, yo, you know what? Then I was looking at the Denali pickups and I seen how much money a lot of those things could cost you. So I was like, you know what, man? Let me go check it out. So I went to Toyota and I seen the Tundra TRD version or the SR5.
Yeah.
And when I was in there, I said, yo, listen, I know y'all have a Crew Max. And you know what he said to me? He said, no, we don't have one here. I said, well, do they have one at another dealership? He said, no.
No.
He said, those were made to order. That's why you don't see them.
Facts.
So you had to get it. You had to order it, and which is why you barely see them on the used car market. And another thing that they pointed out to me was most people who buy pickups don't bring these cars back. The pickup. That's why you never really see used pickups.
So what's that telling you?
That they good cars.
Yeah.
What's telling you?
But I go in front of you. That looked like a pickup whole family car. Like, yo, listen, this for the family. You need something to move. Right. You need spare tires. Yo, wait, you doing a little construct job? You doing over the kitchen?
Yeah.
That's the perfect car for that.
I'm telling you. Miller, have you ever seen a Toyota Crew Max? You ever looked at the picture of one before, Miller?
Yes, I have, because I saw Trader.com.
And I bet you went for some bread.
Not, but they had a few, and Quarter
go next.
I understand.
The quarter go.
Not for that.
Yeah.
You would have to.
I will say this. At the end of the day, seeing it, that I seen it one time on the street, and I said, "Yo, look at the cab! Like the cab was bouldering out past the rest of the truck."
Yeah.
I said, But if I had the money,
bro. But my next question is to you. Unlike everybody else, if you don't have a driveway, where you parking at?
Oh nah, hold on. You got for that?
Right about that.
Where you parking at in New York?
I would be like that commercial. I'll be like that mowing commercial. But look, I need you to build a house around this.
And then here's the best part about this car. All you got to do is put the snow shovel, the snow mower in. And you got something to clear your road. You got something to clear your That's an all around car, bro.
Shout to Mr. 2J Cassins. He said, I've only serviced one Crew Max with the TRD Supercharger a few years ago. It's a really good truck that's unattainable. I'm telling you. When I first saw it, I was like,
real quick, I got to give you a story. Before I got down to Florida, Georgia's finest hit me.
What happened? You got flagged?
I was doing 90 in the 70.
It's not that hard though, but I wouldn't promote it.
But you know what? She pulled me. It was a female, and she looked like she got time. She looked like her papers in her back pocket. But you know what? She rolled up on me with?
What?
She rolled up with me on the F-150.
And they do have F-150s out there. Yeah. But I saw her come out. So I just pulled over. I said, I know she's coming for me, so let me just pull over here and sit down. Wow.
But I told and when she pulled up, she was like, she said, you're doing a pretty good click there. I was like, well, yeah, I understand. Let me tell you what happened. Look, I'm coming from New York. I've been driving for like the last 8 hours. I am done, but I'm almost there. But you know what? I understand. You got to do what you got to do. Look, I can't be wrong and strong. She was not expecting that. She was expecting, she saw a black guy. Number one, she's a white lady. Number two, whatever it was in her mind, she was bracing herself for. She was figured that, I'm going to pull some BS and act a fool or something. I was smiling all the way through, and she was so shocked. She's like, I'm sorry, but I'm still gonna have to give you a ticket, but I'm gonna try to give you a ticket for, for the lightest thing that's possible. And I wasn't thinking, I was like, no seatbelt? I wasn't thinking about that, but I should have put that in my head.
I'm gonna tell you, son, I see people end up in cuffs.
But that was the first story. The second story is this. So I finally get down there, right? And my mom, she's having like a septic issue, and she discovered that part of the problem had to do with the palm tree in front of her house. So my father comes out. He says, Chris, I need you. I said, okay, all right, no problem. So I come out, and he's like, so I'm like, all right, so what do you need? He said, I need your truck.
Like, bro.
Oh, wait a minute. Now we're talking horsepower.
Right. Hold on, wait a minute. So, you thought I was finished?
So I got the hooks in the front. So he's already got the rope around the part of the tree that I'm going to be pulling down. So the guy that's helping him, he's already got the saw out. So he's already getting it. And if I had sense, my wife would have recorded it for me. So I was able to help pull that tree down with my truck and make sure that I had no damage to the hood. So I tapped the gas a little bit, slowly pulling and pulling. And then I finally pulled the tree down. And I was like, oh, shit.
It's power.
Yo,
there's nothing better.
This was the reason why I bought this truck. Not only for me to enjoy myself, but to help others. And I was so impressed. I'm not giving up this truck, dude.
Yo, Mill, I like how you slid that in there.
I give a helping hand to whoever needs a pull.
I bought it so I could help people.
I have a helping hand to anybody that needs a tree to be pushed down.
Word. Wow. He said, yo, I just bought it so I can help people. Yeah, okay, Mill. All right. We're going to look, with that being said, Miller, we're going to move right along now because we're going to treat you like that police officer. You're doing a couple clicks over
Remember, sir, your show is a family show, and we are all here to help one another.
For family.
Jesus with a turbo.
Yo.
I'm sorry, I had a Cosby moment. And on that note, thank you for the time. Y'all keep on teaching and teaching. I'll keep on learning.
Yes.
And I will definitely try to make sure that I get to the next CDD.
Yo, make it out there. With that being said, Miller Tom NYC, whenever you call up, it's a gift. We appreciate you, my dude. We're going to get up with you, Miller.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. Be good, be safe, and I'll continue to learn.
Let's go.
Bless.
Peace. Shout to my guy. Yo, shout to Seneca in the building. He said that's the justification we give ourselves whenever we buy anything. Yo, I'm here to help.
How you think I got my car?
Yo, that is hilarious. That's a fact. I can't front. Even with me buying a typo, I was like, it's for me. Yeah. Shout to everybody tuned in, paying attention. With that being said, we're going to jump right into the show. You know how we get down, man. We're going to get right in. We got my guy Wings Liddy in the building. Shout to him one more time. We got an interview coming up with him. But with that being said, we're going to jump right into our weekly specs. Let's get down. You know what this is.
Weekly specs. Auto news for all the listeners. Only on Rally Radio.
Yo, I did not mean to blow everybody's eardrum right there. I'm sorry. That was crazy. It was definitely loud. I'm sorry. But with that being said, we reached our weekly specs. You know how we get down here. We in the building. We got some news for you. With that being said, looks like Nissan's CEO wants at least 4 Halo cars from Nissan. Now, for those that don't know, everybody know Nissan is under water right now. They need super duper help right now. They just changed CEOs, and apparently the CEO is a car guy. So, with that being said, he's saying that Nissan, they need at least 4 or 5 Halo vehicles like the GTR. First and foremost, and for those that don't know, the GTR is done, right? Everybody knows that the R35 is now done. They're not taking no more orders. Look, that's going to be it. This Nissan CEO has hinted that he will be bringing back another GTR. I'm actually interested in that. So the incoming CEO, his name is Ivan Espinoza. Ivan Espinoza. It looks like Nissan is entering a new chapter, and he's only 46 years old too.
So he's young.
He's young, and they say that he's a car guy. We'll see how much of a car guy. Got another call. Let's see what we got. Rally Radio, we got in the box.
Yo, it's Doc. Real quick, I just wanted to say something real quick. I ain't even try to fucking.
I already know.
I ain't trying to. You know what I mean,
Uh-huh.
I just had a quick question. Why is it that whenever these car companies is in problems, they gotta call the car guy to bail them out? What's happening with Dodge? Now it's happening with Nissan. What's going on? What you see? This is what happens when they let the bean counters make all the decisions. Run the company in the ground. Now the car guy gotta come save them. Meanwhile, they could have had the car guy the whole time and been prosperous. Look at Porsche. Look at Toyota. These are two companies that got the car guys at the helm, and it works. So why don't these other car companies understand it? That is just a great. My fault, Pop. You was just saying that. You said that the CEO of Nissan, the new CEO of Nissan, is a car guy, and we need at least 4 Halo cars. He's absolutely right. And I don't understand why these absolute morons keep it. It's like it's a vicious cycle. I never understand it. The car guy always gotta come save everybody's ass. Yeah. And I don't understand why. Like, just leave the car guy at the helm.
Yo, Phil, wow, yo, Phil, we sorry, it wasn't us.
I just had to. I will probably call back later. I just had to get that off my chest, bro. Because that.
I'm sweating. Why am I sweating laughing?
Yo, Phil, it wasn't us. Put the AK away, Phil.
Bro, when I tell you, like, that, like, I don't understand it. They do it every time. The car guy comes in, it's prosperity and happiness and money and car sales, and then they kick the car guy out. They put the bean counter in there.
Yeah.
I run the company in the ground. Now the car guy got to come back and save everybody. Like, why? Why?
Yo, check it out. Shadow Gamer. First shout to Shadow Gamer. He said because they need us until they out of the water, then it's about the family.
Damn.
That's the problem. Yeah. That's the point. And he's absolutely right. That's the point I'm making.
I was about to say maybe the shareholders got a cousin. Yo, like listen. The shareholders got a cousin. Like, yo, listen. Yo, thank you for getting us back up. But I got a cousin that can run the company with numbers way better than yours.
Tavares, Carlos Tavares. That's 10. No, stop playing. No, I didn't mean that.
Carlos Tavares, Carlos Ghosn, Mary Barra, Jim Farley, all of these people.
He's right.
All of these people running their companies into the ground.
He's right. 100%. And what happened when
they can't make a right move? Every time they come out with something stupid that nobody wants, and then they're surprised when nobody buys it.
And then they get a severance pay 5 years, half a decade later.
Yo, not for nothing. As crazy you say that, because it even brings us back to Dodge. Dodge had his best years under Tim, and he wasn't the full CEO. He just was Dodge.
He wasn't exactly.
And look what Dodge did. At one point, they held the crown to what they are now. And now you got these influencers trying to get you to buy this electric Charger. I hate that.
What's that?
The electric Dodge Charger.
Huh? Say that again?
I said they're trying to get you to buy the electric Dodge Charger.
Wait, say that again?
Oh, that's why. Yo, Phil.
I'm gonna let y'all go back to what y'all doing, man.
Yo, shout to Dr. Phil once again, though. Can we get it? Let's go. Because he's 1,000% right. Though.
No, he's right.
So, in your opinion, then Phil, can Nissan save themselves?
Of course it can. There's nothing that's unsavable. But the key that again, I've never ran a car company before, but me or anybody else who has half a brain can pretty much tell you when it comes to selling cars, you need excitement. You need excitement. You need enthusiasm behind your brand. If your brand sucks, nobody's gonna buy your cars. And what's the best way to drum up enthusiasm behind your brand? A halo car, a sports truck, something that makes people excited, something that makes oohs, ahs. You know what I mean? Like that, right now. That's why
Toyota's doing it right now.
People been clamoring for a V8 Jeep from God knows how long, and Jeep didn't do it until
Tim got
like 2019.
Because Tim was.
Guess what? When they did it, they couldn't keep it. They were marking them up so much, and they still couldn't keep them in the showroom. I mean, now it's a different story, but it's just like you need excitement behind your brand. Why? And what built up crazy excitement for that was the Trailcat concept. Literally that. It's a Hellcat swap into a Jeep. People saw that and it was like, oh.
I'm buying it.
I need it.
I want it. I need it.
See,
it has to happen.
You know what they forget, Phil? At the end of the day, a car's an emotional purchase.
Exactly.
It is.
It's an emotional purchase.
It's an emotional purchase.
It is. When you think about it, you go get a car. We could go get anything if you just want to get around from point A to point B.
Yo, bro, there's basic cars out there that could do that.
But when you want to look good, or when you want to go fast, or when
you want to look good. You want to feel good. You want to feel either you want to feel the road or you want to feel the power that you got on the road.
Right.
So it means a lot, and it feels a lot.
Even with the electrics, even with the EVs, it's an emotional purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how it makes you feel behind. It's how, you know what I'm saying, you stomp on it and it throws you into the back seat.
It's called an alter ego. That car is the alter ego for you.
You know what I'm saying? Or the ego that's like, yeah, I'm better than you because I travel. I'm saying that because there's a bottle of wine next to me. And this woman definitely looks like she has a very high sense of self-importance. But it's how the car makes you feel. Because you wouldn't be driving that's not even a Model Y, it's a Model X. She wouldn't be driving a Model X dual motor. She would have spent $100,000 on this thing if she didn't like it.
Yes.
You have to like it. It's cars are the second largest purchase you're gonna make in your lifetime.
Agreed.
You better like it.
You better, and Phil, my whole point to everything has always been with a car. If I'm making a payment, I gotta love it.
You know what? I got taught this by my old contractor.
There is nothing worse than making payments.
Oh, you still?
It just makes life hard.
I'll be real with you, right? My boss told me this at an early stage in my mid-20s. He said, "Yo, bro, two places you gonna be all your life: work and your car. Nobody likes to work, no matter if you go into the position that you love.
Right?
Just know this: the second place is your car." Buy what you are feeling comfortable in and what you feel what the road is supposed to be like for you. Because those are the two. You're going to spend less time at home. 8 hours to sleep.
Exactly.
Going back and forth to work is probably 2 hours, 3 hours max, depending on where you at.
Yeah.
Make sure you enjoy that car that you're making payments on.
Exactly.
Listen, you already know where I'm at with it, Phil. I can't listen. I was gonna sign my name in blood on the Hellcat manual, and when they told me I couldn't have it manual, I didn't want it. That goes to show.
Because you would have been every time you got inside of it. If you'd have bought that automatic, every time you put it every time you put it in drive, you would have gagged. It would have been every time.
That man would have been like, "There's a ghost changing my gears for me. I don't know what's going on right now. What gear am I in right now?"
You'd have been pressing the plus and the minus, disgusted with yourself.
Yeah.
Trying to shift gears. And putting it in neutral at the stoplight to get a little rollback.
Yo. And not for nothing, that's exactly why I was like, I can't do it. He was like, no, we got a good automatic one over here. I said, I don't want it.
No, but the 8-speed automatic is faster. I don't care.
I don't want it.
I don't care.
Am I missing my left foot?
I don't want it.
Am I missing my left foot?
Word.
My left leg is gone? Then why would I want it?
And then when I went to go, I said, what else would I get for the drive? And I spotted the Type R, and I was just like, I always wanted one as a Honda guy. You know what I mean? And the rest is history. Shout to my guy Tony Brown, tuned in. He said, "What's good, Pop?" Yo, Phil, we gonna get back to the show. I appreciate the rant, though. Is he still on, Phil?
Always a pleasure.
All right, we gonna get up with you.
No doubt.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Shout to Dr. Phil, man.
He is right, though. He is right.
Let's go. Shout to my guy Seneca. Him and Shadow Game is having a time over here. He said, who wanted that? And they mad at it for like 3 years. That's a fact, man. Shout to Seneca because he said
I wouldn't know how that feels.
He said Maxima SE W twin V6 and W twin V or twin V6. Or he's just saying pretty much some of the things they could do. Make the Maxima, or because they got rid of the Maxima. Nissan is done with the Maxima.
That's the most horrible decision they ever made in their life.
I believe that they actually at the end of the day, they didn't treat the Maxima right to begin with and started treating it like it was just a regular everyday. And to be honest with you, a lot of people love the Maxima. I love the Maxima for just off the strength that it had enough power, front wheel drive, you still put your family.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
I had a Maxima. We had this discussion the last time I was here. I had a supercharged Maxima. Best thing about that car, it was great. It fit 3 people in the back, had room in the front, mid-sized, great on gas. X my supercharger out, but that's another story. That's for me personally.
Right.
But overall, it was an all-around car. And guess what? If there's a little storm, there was so much power in the front. All you had to do was rock a little back, rock a little forward. It gets you out. Period. Go ahead, brother. Your time.
Yo, with that being said, to continue on before we was schooled by Dr. Phil. Shout out to Dr. Phil. Nissan looks like they have pretty strong feelings about the future of, you ready for this? The Z, the GTR, and the Sylvia. Oh boy. The
Zion was one of the most best railroad drives they ever had, bro.
And it's still here. It's not like it went anywhere. But yet I feel like they haven't either the dealerships are killing that car one. Because we got another
disgruntled caller.
Let's go. Raleigh Radio, who we got in the box?
Yeah, it's your boy Big J in the building.
Shout to my guy Jay Tootin, Mr. 2J Casting. Hey Jay, what does that mean? The castings part.
Oh, that is because what's called it? So I picked up on my YouTube channel on my diecast, so I'm doing a lot more content on that. So hence the word casting.
Shout to Mr. 2J because I can't lie, me and my son are big fans of 3D Bot Maker. Big fans. I know you heard of it, Jay.
Oh, what's it called?
3D Bot Maker.
Oh, I'm the one. I think I put y'all onto that. That's what kind of inspired me to basically make the content I'm making now.
Yeah, me and my son watch every episode that come out, and we be like, I like the way they turn it into like everyday life thing or whatever. It's pretty cool. They really do well with the content. So first off, shout to Jay. And if you're looking for any custom die cast to put in the race, me and my son, we build them.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Jay, what was you about to start it off with? What's your thoughts on this Nissan ordeal here?
Well, first I gotta say to the doctor, this man is speaking too loud.
speaking too loud with the truth, or just speaking too loud? I'm gonna need you to emphasize on that.
Speaking loud with the truth,
With
baby.
the
'Cause, I mean,
truth.
it's a fact. Why is it whenever car companies are catching L's left and right, they always turn to the car heads, and then they, shockingly enough, find out their cars now suddenly sell.
Hey, yo, and I feel like we had that conversation because remember, even I was saying, like, you know what? The car guy saves the dealership every trip because they sell those little econo boxes and SUVs all day. They don't make no money. You know how they make money? By that sports car that's on the display spinning around that somebody's willing to pay
not the luxurious car,
right?
The sports car,
right?
And I want to make sure to get that straight because at the end of the day, everybody's doing sports cuts right now.
Yeah.
So let's not get it twisted. But at the end of the day, I think they get a little bit too comfortable. Like, well, because they like this, let's take it off the market, and they just gonna buy anything that's sports cut because right now that's the trend. That is the trend. And it's just like, so what happened to the sports people that actually drop the sports cars? Because we know the difference.
What's your thoughts, Jay?
Exactly. See, and it is true because I feel like a lot of these companies listen to. This is what happens when you get these companies listen to these shareholders versus what the engineers are building. Good example, and I'm sure you got. I'm surprised no one hasn't brought that up. How, yes, Ferrari sells, right? But now there's a new car built by Hamilton.
Oh my God!
One car head. You cannot get more car head than that. Building a car from Ferrari.
He said the F44.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that's not going to sell. I just wish that more. I wish that more companies started doing that. Like Mitsubishi, get a car head for Mitsubishi. Bring back the Evo, the 3000 GT. I'll even go one step further. Bring back the Starion. Have that take on the GR86. Why not?
And but you know what though? But see, this is what I mean. First off, salutations. You already know what it is. The thing is, I feel like a lot of them they don't want to relive the past. But it's not about reliving the past. It's about embracing the future of the company. And a lot of times you got to really go back to when you were at your most affluent, when you were doing the best that you could do. Boy.
Right. But here's the thing. You why not do both? Ford has done it. Ford, think about it. When Ford was catching L's with the SN95, right? Mm-hmm. When they brought out the next one, what was it? What did they do? They went back to the old design of the 60s fastback. Kind of combine that together with like a newer design, and now we have an overpriced S650 nowadays.
They're bringing back classic with a modern cut.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's not to say they can't do it. They can definitely do it.
But then you got some car companies who have their foot on the or have their finger on the pulse of the car community because they realize that, like I said, the people in the car community are going to buy these cars because most people, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest here. Most soccer moms or dads that go back and forth to work or whatever don't really care what they drive because it's a utility.
I would have said that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said that until what's the Chrysler? What's the minivan?
The Pacifica.
The Pacifica, and there's the Caravan.
Yes, I love the Caravan,
bro.
Stop because S.I Shawn was yo Jay. You remember that? Minivans versus wagons versus trucks.
Caravan, bro.
I said the Dodge Caravan, my favorite. Cats looked at me like I had two heads. Pause.
Bro, the Caravans.
Yeah, I love it,
bro. I drove that for work, delivering packages. I will drive that any day of the week.
Let's go.
I will go on a cross strip country road. I will go to Canada for Caravana in them Caravans.
I love the Caravan. I love it.
I got a soft spot for that because my dad has had one. Oh man, my dad had him when it was still like Plymouth, like from the 90s. And whatnot, so I get it. Although I feel like with Dodge, for example, biggest missed opportunity. Put a Hellcat engine in the van. Call it the Van Helsing.
The Van
It'll sell.
And this is why they need to listen to car guys.
If you can put one in the Jeep, why not in the van?
This is why they need to listen to car guys. Exactly what he just said. So with that being said, Jay, right? Do you feel like Nissan can pull themselves out of it? And if that's the case, what do you think it's going to take for them?
So, do I think it would? Absolutely. What do they need to do? Simple. Cut every other weird crossover they got out of the line. I'm sorry. You do not need 5 versions of a Murano or a Pathfinder. You really don't. You really don't.
You really don't.
No, you really don't. But you know what? They're going towards like who really drive those cars. Number one, and it goes on which sex feels comfortable within them cars, and then after that they can boost up the package going into you know what, if you want this middle package, we got something that's slightly better and it has a few more buttons and we could charge you 10 grand more. That's a real thing.
I will say this though. I will say this at the end of the day, like we said before, the car guy saves all of this.
Agreed.
Because the car guy is really gonna pay that. He's gonna pay.
Oh yeah.
Like do you remember we talked about that Black Ghost Challenger? You remember that? So remember, with the very first one belonged to a police officer who was the street race at night. You feel what I'm saying? So now what he do is he had all the options put on his car. That's something that soccer moms don't do. He had all, and when I say all the options, I mean aftermarket options that they were selling through themselves. Because remember, they had what they call direct connection.
Yeah.
Where they had the parts, where you could get the parts. He was buying bigger axles. He bought the posi rear. He bought the everything. He bought the cams. He bought all of that through them, was killing them on the street race track. That's not something that soccer moms and things do. And because of that, that's why we always save the day.
It's true. It's true.
But see, here's the thing. What's exactly? Okay, when I say reduce all models, I don't mean just get rid of the Murano or the Pathfinder or whatnot. I'm just talking about those sub models in between, because the naming convention is just, I'm sure y'all have seen it. It's confusing.
Yes.
And the thing is that historically speaking, the majority of people who are buying Nissan is rental companies. So, I mean, it's not to say
you're
that
being loud, sir. You're being loud. You're being very loud. You're being very loud and clear. I'm not too sure what you're trying to say right now, sir. But it sounds like pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, that was
bang,
hilarious.
bang.
Hey, we all got eyes. But what I'm talking about, hear me out, though. Hear me out. My thing is, like I said, and to go into your point, yes, car guys will buy it to an extent. Mm-hmm. Look at the new Z, for example. How many have you seen on the road still? Think about that.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, if the dealership played right, it'd be a lot more. And they got too greedy.
And that's the other thing, is that I feel like what they have to do is stop allocation on some of these dealerships.
Yes.
That's taking advantage. 100%. Well, it's the reason why you don't see like a lot of like whatever you see for like Toyotas minus the Supra, whatever you see is the price. That's generally the price of the car.
Yes.
And whatnot. Same thing with Hondas, except Type R's. Same thing with like other companies, but for some reason or another, Nissan's just like, hey, this $40,000 car is really $70,000. Come on, It is what it is. It is just like how I was saying before.
It's definitely something that they want you to. Oh, come and sit down with us. Let's talk real quick.
Right.
Like, yeah, we're claiming it's 40, but what you want? What you want in it?
See, but remember the Nissan, not the Nismo, but the Nissan Z itself come with the Volks wheels. The what's the name? It comes with so many different things. It's like, I'm telling you, if I could have found one, I might have bought it.
Yeah, but
shout out to my guy Kev Parade.
Be careful with that though, because you might find one and realize it don't come with an LSD.
Bow.
Yeah.
Bow.
And now you in the wall. I can't
drop your hot money for none. For a one-wheel peel, it is just not worth it.
Yo, no LSD on the rear wheel is like, you pretty much saying just slide me into a wall. Like,
rain, snow, a nice little sharp turn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Shout to my guy
Crazy
Kev.
struggle out here.
He said, yo, shout out to everyone talking, helping me keep my sanity with these Cadillac motor mounts. He said they were split in half and everything is leaking. Sweet Jesus. That is a problem.
I've had my fill of GM cars. I'm good.
With that being said, Jay, shout your channel out a little bit more. What you got on it?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were breaking up. What were you saying? I'm so sorry.
Shout your channel out one more time. What's your channel?
So my channel is called Miss M2J Castings. Basically, all I do is just show off my dioramas and just show. I'm still in the process of like thinking about putting together like step-by-step processes of how I break models and reseal everything back up and everything like that. So basically, that's all I do on the channel. It's just diecast stuff, a little bit of stuff here and there. I do a lot more stuff on my page.
Okay.
I will be making a separate page eventually whenever I have the time to basically kind of just like show off what I do. But I'm too crazy right now. We're just still like a tiny channel, just trying to get out there.
Listen, we all tiny.
Shout out to my channel. I'm still tiny, but I'm holding down like 425 right now, still building. So keep on doing what you're doing, brother.
That's a fact. Shout out to my guy, Mr. 2J.
Also, there will be more dioramas coming soon. Just got to give me some time on that.
Let's go. It is what it is. Yo, Jay, we're going to continue on with this show. And we're going to get back with you.
Yes, sir. Listen, we want to tell everyone, please drive safe. Enjoy these shows out here.
Yes, sir. And it's beautiful out, so get out and enjoy your car.
Oh, sorry. It keeps on breaking up. What happened?
I said, and don't forget to get out here and enjoy your car.
Oh, of course, man. Of course.
Windows up.
Everyone be safe.
Windows up.
Windows up.
Space.
Peace. All right, Jay. Later. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. We are here. We are in the building, and we do have a special guest today. So we'll make sure we let everybody know what it is. With that being said, we are going to jump right into our more favorite segments of the show where we get to really interview who we got here. With that being said, we got my guy Wings Liddy in the building. Let's get to it.
Driver's etiquette. Because sometimes you got to get this off your chest.
Sorry for the loudness. I know that was crazy. I know I was that loud. But with that being said, we got my guy Wings Liddy in the building.
Gang, what up? Yeah, Brooklyn, New York, what up?
He made it. He's in the building with us today. So with that being said, let's get to it, Wings Liddy. How did you get your start? First off, let everybody know what you do. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Wings Liddy. I have my own actual liquor channel. Mm-hmm. I'm a liquor enthusiast.
Connoisseur
/ enthusiast.
Let's go.
I tell you what's good for the bang for the buck, and what's flavorful, what got body, what got spices, what will actually hit your flavor palette, and just basically like this. Tell me what you like, and I can tell you what you can buy that you won't be disappointed about.
Let's go. So for all you Alexes out there, or you got to tune into my guy Wings Liddy. Not for nothing, man, but the thing that really brought Wings Liddy in here, and like I said, shout to him because I've definitely watched his channel. I'm subscribed to his channel. If you can, give us the channel name real quick.
Channel is Liddy ENT LITTI space ENT. We got your favorite liquor. If not, we gonna make it in your favorite liquor.
Let's go. With that being said, how did you get your start in that? What made you want to do that? What made you want to say, you know what? We could show you X, Y, and Z. What was the driving force?
You want to hear something crazy?
Let's go.
I went to my man's wedding.
Okay, let's go.
So it was crazy because they had a liquor selection, and being homies from the block, from back when we was, well, let's see, I was an early teen. They got like 2-3 years up on me, so they was already teenagers. We used to chill on the block, whatever. So one of the big homies was in the middle of getting married.
Yes.
And I'm not a smoker. That's not what I do. This is a family show.
Okay.
I would say do whatever you do, make sure you're legal to do it.
Okay.
And make sure it's legal to do.
Okay.
Period.
Continue.
So whatever the case may be, we drinking and everybody's looking at my selection at the table. And now, mind you, these are the homies at the table with the man that's getting married.
Yes.
So we all chilling and everybody getting a drink. And I'm like, yo, wait, you got Jameson? Yeah. Is that the IPA? Yeah, I'll take that. Everybody looking at me like,
you're like, well, how he know that? Let's go.
So they was like, yo, so wait, you drinking bourbon? I'm drinking whiskey, but if you want bourbon selection, I can tell you what's good from what I know. And they was like, word. So, whiskey, bourbon, scotch coming around the same family, but just different backgrounds.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, this IPA Jameson whiskey is popping. So my homeboy said, yo, try this bourbon out. And I said, oh, is that Jim Beam? He said, yeah. And I said, oh, it's decent. You got the Devil's Cut? He said, what you know about the Devil's Cut? And I said, Devil's Cut is overproof, has a full body, but it's still smooth. Not too much spices, whatever the case may be. But I would say it's pretty basic, and it's for the overproofiness, it comes really smooth. He said, all right, bet. Had that. I said, yeah, it's good. He said, yo, what's the one that Southern Hospitality? You already know what Southern Hospitality is, considering you laughing about it.
No, shout out to my guy Kev. Kev got me laughing because we had a speed and greet last week and we went to IHOP. So we go to IHOP, you know what I mean? Like everybody's like, we starving at this point, and we sat down, and we eating, and for this IHOP in particular, I don't know if that's with every other IHOP, but they serve drinks.
Absolutely not. That's not every other IHOP. You went to a
Yes,
special
we
one.
went to
Shout out to whoever chose that IHOP, because I'm still looking for it.
But we out there, my man Kevin was like, yeah, I'll take the beer. We like, that was actually hilarious. Shout out to Kev. Continue on. So you said you made your choices and people was impressed with what you was choosing. So that's what led to it. You was like, you know what? I may be able to do this and show people something. Go ahead.
My homeboy Los was like, yo, bro, you're pretty good at this, because he gave me Southern Hospitality. I said, ugh. Tastes like diabetes.
Damn. I hear that.
It was sweet as heck. You feel me? I'm like, look, yeah, that's gonna make me not the right person and this, that, and the third. He said, let me see what you drinking. Let me see the whiskey real quick. And I said, this is the IPA version. Just think of it as a whiskey IPA beer. So it cuts into that flavor with the whiskey sweetness and I will say the sourness of an IPA.
Yes.
So he tried. He said, yo, starts off like a whiskey, ends off like an IPA, but it's not as harsh. And he was like, yo, bro, YouTube is picking up, bro. I think you should actually make your own YouTube about this.
So that's what led to that.
Yes, sir.
So now that you've been doing that, right? What have you noticed as far as like, let's say liquor brands in general are concerned? Like, first off, like, are more liquor brands actually the same, and we think that they're different because they have different labels, or actually, what's going on with them?
With liquor, majority is Diageo. We're gonna keep it funky. Big conglomerate name brands. Big conglomerate name brands that hold certain shares in small companies that they made huge. So it goes on which agave plant that they're using, it goes on which ingredients that they're using, and it goes on basically if the big brother company actually put their hands into it yet. So if you get something that's small batch, which is very popular nowadays, small batch, small company, that means you're getting the more of the liquor than more of the sugar and whatever they're trying to push.
So with that being said, then what would be your favorite brand? What is your favorite brand thus far that you really?
Thus far, going towards you got to give me a genre. Tequila, You either got to give me tequila, vodka, cognac, whiskey, bourbon.
I'm gonna go with a couple. We're gonna start it with cognac, and
Okay.
we're gonna go to bourbon and a scotch.
Ooh, you fancy with the scotch.
What's your favorite three? I mean, out of those genres, or favorite one?
Favorite one out of those genres.
Yeah.
All right, so hit me with the first one.
So cognac,
Cognac,
mm-hmm.
Pierre Valette.
Pierre Valette.
Last time I was here, I had you with the Pierre Patou.
Yes,
Pierre
that was
Patou.
pretty good, by the way. Yes.
Yeah, now mind you, in this in particular show that we was doing, the Pierre Patou actually beat out Remy VSOP. They were both VSOPs. Wow. Yeah, and now mind you, the price difference varies. So just mind you, the Pierre Patou costs $40 for the VSOP costs $45. The Remy, because of the hype and because of the name brand, because it's Remy.
Obviously, right?
Yeah, it's 55 versus $45. $10 difference.
So with scotch now, what would be your favorite scotch? Ooh. I know that's a tough one because scotch is like an old white man drink almost, but
I wouldn't say that. It's more for whoever has that palate.
Has that palate. So
Yeah.
what you got for us?
Come on, bro. You serious?
Yeah, what you got? Now, what would be your favorite?
My favorite. I'm trying to remember the name brand right now because it's a very no name brand and everybody goes to it. It's something that actually everybody be like, this is my drink. What is it called again? Damn, I wish you didn't say scotch first.
So I'll tell you what, we'll go to the gin. I mean, to the tequila, excuse me. Tequila now, what is your favorite brand?
Oh, that's easy. Casa Dragones.
Who?
Casa Dragones. House of Dragons.
House of Can we get a shout out for that? Because I'm a serious Game of Thrones fan. Continue on.
House of Dragons. It's basically a Mexican company which Diageo actually owns now.
Yes.
And what for the Blanco cost $71. But the funny thing is, you might say that's too much, but you're paying like $50 for some Casamigos.
So I'll say this much, right? When it comes down to it, I went on a honeymoon with my wife. Shout out to my wife, right? And when we was out there, we actually went to a rum place in St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one where you could make like your own rum. If you could make your own alcoholic brand, what would it be and why? And what genre would it be?
For the scotch?
Oh, no, you choose the genre.
No. First, for the scotch, to answer your question, Macallan.
Macallan?
Ain't nobody beat Macallan. Macallan's is his own brand name. If you want to go to the bottom of the barrel, Macallan, 12 years, the bottom of the barrel, you won't find any other 12-year scotch that tastes like that.
That's crazy. So now what would your favorite genre be?
My favorite genre, because
if you were to create your own brand.
If I was create my own brand, I would say, because I'm a diet dude and I work out, tequila. And if I would make a tequila, honestly, as I said, the best tequila I ever had. Now, mind you, there's tequilas that don't rival Casa Dragones.
Okay.
I have never heard anybody else put up any other name brand for Casa Dragones. And the bottle that it comes in, and it has to come in a case. If it doesn't come with a case, it's not real.
Let's go. It's gonna get good.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, for tequila Casa Dragones, the cheapest bottle's $72.
So now, with that being said, obviously not to mix alcohol in cars. Let's be clear about that. No, we don't do
drinking and driving is not do. And I like to make this a real thing.
Yes.
After every end of episode, don't drink and drive. Everybody keep it litty for your city and be safe.
Let's go. Shout to Wings Litty. So with that being said, you have recently purchased a new car. Let's get into this a little bit because I've been dying about this. I want to hear about this. Let's go. What you got for us?
I have ascended and I have literally gave away my SI and I am on honestly, and I don't like to use this term, but I feel like I went into God mode.
Okay. What did you buy?
Corolla GR.
Woo. So you bought a
Core.
what year? 2020.
4 with 18 miles, and I put on the 3 miles.
2024 GR Corolla. Now, I'm glad that we got you in here because we've heard so many different things about the GR Corolla, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the GR Corolla, does it assist on takeoff like that? Let's go.
I didn't break in the clutch yet. I'm only on 700 miles. You got to give me some time for that, brother.
Now, I heard that it assists. Like when you in first gear, it's like you don't even have to hit the throttle. You let off the clutch a little bit, it takes off.
It does. It does.
Okay.
It does.
What's your favorite thing about that car?
It got 5 different faces.
Ooh, that vernacular. So with that being said, what do you mean exactly? Like, you mean it could be 5 different things?
Yes.
Elaborate.
Okay, so it matters what you're more comfortable with, right? So there's certain people that's used to rear-wheel drive.
Yes.
There's certain people that's used to front-wheel drive.
Yes.
That car gives you options of where the power can come from.
Okay, so can you select that in the power pages? Like, does it have okay? So you had Dodge had the 8.4 screen.
Yeah,
you could go into the screen itself and actually dial up like what you was really doing. Is that the same case?
It gives you 2 different modes, right? So with the GR Corolla, it gives you let me just make sure I get these numbers right. Let's see, 70-30 on the rear wheel, 70 on the rear wheel, 30 in the front.
Nice. That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy.
I'm laughing because so
is that as far as it goes, 70-30 or
70-30?
You dial that in?
No, that's not dialing.
Okay.
That's what it gives you because at some point, because of the slip distance differential in the back and the front.
Yes.
So it has to equal out depending on what type of mode you in, because honestly speaking, 70-30 ain't gonna do nasty work in the snow.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So it actually gives you for the front wheel drive, it gives you, I believe, 60-40, 60 in the front, 40 in the back.
Let's go. Shout to Jessica Grandy in the building with us as usual. One of our greatest listeners that we have here.
Shout out to
at
Jess.
Rally Radio and Bars and Hoops Radio. With that being said, right, there's been a lot of knock on the GR Corolla, and one of the knocks is you have people detonating engines and transmissions, right?
Yeah.
You had a guy who recently, I believe he said he was doing the money shift. We all know what that is when you downshifting and you actually go into a gear you didn't mean to, and now you up in the RPMs. He actually blew the engine that way.
Now that
how did he do that? And do you think that that's something that you could do in this car? Is it because even my Type R, it's like you got to kind of be paying attention to what you're doing.
One, you got to pay attention. 2, you got to feel out the car. 3, you got to hear the car. There's 3 senses that you have to know about your car, personally speaking. But my question is, how fast was he going to downshift on the wrong gear? Number 1. Number 2, this is something called a manual. A manual does not let you do something unless you're wilding and you're not paying attention.
So I disagree.
Okay.
And you know why? Because at my job, we have so for those that don't know, my Clark Kent, I like to call it Clark Kent, when you're in the Daily Planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like my Clark Kent, we actually deal with trains. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like I work, I'm a train dispatcher, and we deal with trains. So we have these machines. You have one machine or a couple machines which are actually manual in themselves, where you got to throw a handle for every switch.
Okay.
And then you have other machines where you just press a button, and all the other lineups that you could give it, it will, give you the possibilities, and you press one and it does all of those things for you.
Yeah.
So now I consider that like manual and automatic, right?
I can see that. Okay.
So now with the manual machine, you got to open up every switch. Boom, 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 boom. You got to line up every signal. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Right? Now with the auto, press a button, the train is going to do. It checks the permissions. This is what we call at my job, permissions, right? With that being said, I feel like when you're driving manual, you have to check the permissions. Like in other words, right? Like you just said, if you're downshifting, how fast are you going? What RPM are you in? What gear are you in? These are all things that you should be thinking about before You
Shifting.
right
Yeah.
before you shift. And I feel like if you haven't done that homework, or if you can't do it right then and there on the fly, then I feel like you can't blame the car.
So how about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna ask you a personal question.
Let's go.
How much manual cars you ever owned in your life?
Owned? 3.
How much manual cars have you ever leased in your life?
Oh man, I never leased one.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as far as driven, a host.
You can drive a host, but yeah, every day.
So every day was my everyday manual cars. I had a red 1988 Honda CRX. I had a
But you brag
silver.
about, yeah.
I love that car. I don't have it anymore, but I love that car. And I had a silver 89 4-door LX EF sedan.
Beautiful.
Manual.
Beautiful.
I got a black 88 Honda CRX manual. And I
Mhm.
have a Civic Type R manual.
Okay.
When I used to drive around sometime, my homeboy, shout to my guy Ace, you already know what it is. He had a Hyundai, what was it? A Hyundai Elantra manual.
You don't find those regularly.
You don't find those regularly. And I gotta say, out of all my times of driving, and I've driven other cars manual, sports cars manual.
Mhm.
And you like it to me, this is why manual driving, people can't really get next to it. Because they understand that it takes a little bit more thought, and they don't want to put that much thought into driving. You feel what I'm saying? Which is why the manual driver, to me, will always be better than anybody who drives anything automatic, because we have to check the permissions.
Of course.
There's a lot of things we got to look into, but continue on. Let's go.
So now here's my point. There's a reason why I asked you those questions, right? So we all have made the mistake of going into the wrong gear, upshifting,
Sure.
or
Hell yeah.
downshifting.
Yes.
But my question is to you: 42,
It's crazy.
42, 42, bro, 42. You know, you can feel the difference from 42 and how you moving.
Yes.
So me being, let's see, Nissan Sentra,
Uh-huh.
boosted Nissan Maxima,
Yes.
6th gen,
Mhm.
and then after that, what I moved to, I jumped up after that to Honda Civic Si 19, Honda Civic Si 2022, and now the GR Corolla.
Yes.
At the end of the day, how much you paying attention to your clutch to see how much it revs out?
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And you know, this is why I love having real car people here. Because everything I'm saying, you understand. We are here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My thing is, I check everything. Like, everything is processing here. This is why I would say, if you want to cut down on drunk driving, get them a manual.
Because it's going to check you.
Yes.
It's going to check you.
It's going to make you think.
Yeah.
I'll say this one time, and I'll be honest, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. My red Honda CRX, young guy then.
Mhm.
I caught myself, going out to my homeboy's crib, had a couple one too many. And I was like, you know what, man, I got to get out of here. I got to go home. Boom, 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 boom. So I caught myself jumping into the red CRX. And this is, I'm only speaking from experience. I'm not talking about anybody else. When I started the car and I went to put it in gear, it was grinding. And I said, this is why. I couldn't get it together mentally because I had one too many. So before I even took off, I just turned the car off and went right back to where I was at. I can't drive this car until I sober up. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy. If you really want to stop people from doing stuff like that, get them a manual car. Continue on.
Agreed. So from my experience driving from a 94 all the way to a 2024. Now you heard the 4 differences.
Yes.
You heard the 4 differences.
Because I could imagine now, what is it like? If it's anything like my Type R is a 2019, so still got 5 years on your car.
Of course.
Even when I started driving that car, I was like, yo, there's so many things that feel different.
It feels different. So back in my 94 Sentra, fine Fine. It wouldn't allow me to go to second gear.
Okay.
The second I go like this, it'll go. It'll fight with me because I can't push it in there.
Yeah.
Because the RPMs are too high for where's it going right now.
Yes.
Going towards my Maxima, same shit.
Yes.
Unless I hit that peak of getting close to the red line, it still won't get me there.
Right.
2019 now.
It'll let you do it. You gotta be careful. So, with that being said, what's the most gratifying part of owning your GR Corolla? Like now that you've had it, how many miles now?
This is at 725 miles right now.
Wow.
This is a baby. She's a baby.
She's still breaking in.
Yeah.
She's still breaking in. So the thing is, right? With that being said, now, what's your expectations for this car? And is this your forever car?
This is my 15-year car. I'm expecting to have this
for a long time.
For a very long time.
Okay.
One, it's a 4-wheel drive. Yeah, it gets me too. Don't worry about it.
Yo,
it gets me too. I got you though. I got you.
Yo, it's wild out here. Continue on. So this is gonna be your forever car.
It's gonna be my forever car. Like, now, mind you, I got no kids.
Okay.
Right now.
Right now. Wings Liddy's gonna have some babies though. Be careful.
Giddy. All right.
Let's go.
But overall, it's an all around car. It got the buck. It got the buck. It got the pep for a 3-cylinder turbo.
Yes.
Beautiful. On gas. And it doesn't take that much to buck. And it doesn't take that much to get up depending on which mode you in. So when I go to, I'm always on econ mode, bro. Don't ever get it twisted. Gas is crazy. Even I can take regular, but I'd rather put premium in the car because I know how my foot is. Overall, it got normal mode, which gives it a little bit more pep.
Yes.
Then it got sports mode. Then it got custom. Then it got track.
Woo!
I haven't pressed that button yet.
So my thing is, shout to my guy Kev, the instructor. He says, yo, my 74 VW definitely checked you when you weren't right to be driving. I'm telling you. They do it. And this is why I love manual cars. So when I say forever car, right? Obviously you said what's the most important thing to you that says I'm gonna have this for a while? What is is that the all-wheel drive system?
The all-wheel drive system with this differential, I can switch back and forth.
That's ridiculous.
You don't get that. That's not an everyday thing.
And you know why? You know why you appreciate it? Because you driven cars without that. And you already
all
know
front-wheel drive. Yes. All front-wheel drive. And I'll tell you this much from the experience. The front-wheel drive will buck and that front will lift up something vicious.
And you know what? Do you remember I bought these coilovers. Well, not coilovers, but
I drove the
iBot ground control.
Yes.
So the ground control was supposed to stop that. What it is they made the spring rate stronger in the rear of a front wheel drive car, because they noticed at the drag strip that when you would be at the drag strip, if you launch a front wheel drive car, they still
lift up. Yeah.
So what they did was they made they called them hole shots or whatever. I think that was the name of them. And when they made them, they made the springs tougher so that it pushes instead of the
G-force lifting it up.
Right. It actually pushes back to the front, which gives you traction on the front.
Yeah.
I bought those for my CRX. I got so many different things here. But I will say, right, with the GR Corolla now, 3-cylinder, turbo, 4-door, all-wheel drive, checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Is there anything missing in your opinion?
Restraint.
That's on the driver. That's
on the driver. No, as Toyota designed this car, because there's only one that's higher than that, and there's it's a very rare I forgot the name of it. But it's very rare, and it's only like 400 of them out. Yeah, there's something. This it's called the G. It's not called the GR. It's called something else. But it's 400 cars out in America right now.
Okay, you talking about the Monza?
The Mazda.
They have a
Yeah,
Monza
Mazda.
version with the black roof, and then they have another version after that that's like fully almost race car built.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody to get that.
Do you plan to have any modification? Do you plan on modifying it? Obviously.
After I finish making my
Circuit edition. Shout to Clarence Alexander. I'm gonna tell you, that's my cousin.
Yeah.
But when it comes to these cars, he's on. Circuit edition. That's then you have a Monza edition ahead of that. That's the
top of the line. Like literally, that's a track car.
So do you plan on modifying your car though?
I think it's good the way it is. I think it just needs the tune and the boost with the tune. That's all it needs because this is New York.
And you know, 1.3 liters, they actually like you look overseas and you see them putting them 700 horsepower.
Nah, this thing comes stock 300 horsepower, bro. You put a tune in it, you getting a little 25 better and better.
I feel that. And the cylinder walls are ridiculous. Pause. I mean, like the cylinder walls are like, we talking like the mini stout. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. The Morizo. Shout to Dr. Phil. He said the
Morizo. There we go.
Excuse me.
The Morizo. Yeah, the Morizo is they have that in England right now. And it's only if they do have it in America, it's probably 200. And it's only for rarities and people have it on that list.
Not bad. So with that being said, you happy with your purchase?
I'm not happy.
Oh boy.
I'm enjoying it. I am flat out not flattered, but I'm well impressed with my purchase. And it's just a baddie. She's a baddie.
I will say this much. After driving my Type R, it reinvigorated me about manual driving, about what it really takes to really drive. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I had an Infiniti M35 for a little while, automatic, V6, all-wheel drive. I love the car.
Yeah,
the car is taking me up and down the East Coast, but driving this Type R, especially when we took it to the Dragon's Tail, I got a chance to really see what this thing is about. I love it.
I'll be real with you. Mm-hmm. The only thing I envy you about that car is the gearbox. Besides that, you got nothing.
I will say this much. They did do the testing, and that Type R is like this. It's right there.
I believe it.
It's right there. But I will say a lot of people are getting rid of their FK8s and going for the FL5s. I understand now why the FL5 makes more power.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of power. It doesn't have a lot of the restraints and things like that, but they still leave a lot of meat on the bone for you to get the car tuned and do a lot of different things. However, my FK8, my blue baby, is a forever.
Call a Blue Demon. It's cool. It's respectable. Call it a Blue Demon. Call it a Blue Demon.
It's a forever car.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know I'm gonna get cars after that. There's only two other cars I want really outside of that after this.
Yeah.
GTR, Porsche. There's only two.
So you want a luxury.
I want a luxury sports car.
There's no such
I
thing.
want
Can I argue with you with this one?
Let's argue.
There's no such thing as a luxury sports car. Either you get sport or you get luxury. You get luxury with the handle.
I'll tell you this.
Okay.
So now when you say that, right? I see a Porsche 911 GT3 RS going for about 250, 300,000. If that is not luxury, I would love to own one of those. If Porsche is listening, would you please send one to Rally Radio? Bearded one would love to test it. I don't know if I'll give it back, but at the end of the day,
my man said, "You ain't getting this back. Thank you.
Thanks a lot." But with that being said, what's the most gratifying thing on the
GR Corolla?
Yeah.
I think honestly, the most gratifying thing is considering I never drove a rear-wheel drive, and when it's on rear-wheel drive power mode,
70-30.
70-30,
ridiculous.
It feels smoother. It feels smoother. And the thing is, it doesn't buck as hard because I'm going to be like, because the power is coming from the back, the slip, the differential's coming from the back.
Yes.
And honestly speaking, I'm a front wheel drive person. I'm not
Let's
used to these things. I'm not used to these things.
I will say this much, right? I will say the most gratifying thing about my car is that I understand. Like, Honda made a Swiss Army knife when they made the FK8. You can do anything with it. You want to do grocery shopping, you can do that. You want to race it, you can do that.
Facts.
You want to make it, you want to clean it and sit it over there in the corner,
you could do that.
Whatever you want to do. And I think the same thing with Toyota with the GR Corolla. I feel like they really they
put their foot in it.
And I feel like people don't respect it.
But I'll tell you this much. I never use a track mode. And I'm being totally honest with you. I have never used a track mode yet because I haven't been on the track yet. But I will say this. In sports mode, you get your just deservings and a little bit more. If you want, if it's basically you get your cake and you get the ice cream on the side if you're ready for that ice cream on the side.
Let's go. I hear that. Shout the Wings Liddy. He in the building. He's coming out to the next speed and greet. And if he doesn't, call him out. He's gonna be out there. He's gonna be out there on our next speed and greet. With that being said, we're gonna move right along. It is now. I can't believe the time. The time is flying right now. You know how we get down here at Rally Radio. With that being said,
we have
a couple other things going on. Shout to my guy Flip in the building. You already know what it is. With that being said, we're gonna move right along. We got a couple things going on. We're just gonna jump right into the exhaust notes. Want y'all to keep in mind we got a speed and greet, and I'm gonna put it out there. We got another speed and greet coming up April 13th. April 13th. We got another speed and greet coming up. Shout out to my guy Seneca. He said I did that X delete. Rear-wheel drive is something to get adjusted to in a big car.
Agreed.
Yeah. He said
agreed.
That's one of them things you gotta get accustomed to. Gotta get accustomed to. With that being said, speed and greet, April 13th. Y'all ready for this? It's gonna be early. 7 a.m. We will wait around till 8, and after that, we are taking our drive. So if that's the case, speed and greet, April 13th, 7 a.m., 7 a.m. If you're not a member of the group, you already know where to find us. Gutterball Rally the community. Join into the group. We definitely put out more information there. We also will be putting out a flyer information, letting people know what it is. And we expect Mr. Wings Liddy over here. If he's not testing alcohol at that time.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yo.
He's coming out.
I'm coming out.
Let's go. April 13th. It's on. You already know what it is. That's our exhaust notes for the day. You already know what it is. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, rocking with us, paying attention. It is now well over our time. But I will say it's been a great one. Rocking with Wings Liddy.
And it's been great rocking with Rally Radio, Bars and Hoops Radio. You already know what time it is. Shout out to my channel once again. If y'all want to follow, tell me what y'all preference is. And I got you. I'll make a shout out. Please leave a comment down below. It's Liddy ENT space. I'm sorry, LITTI space ENT. YouTube. Check me out. About that life.
My God. With that, and let me tell you, I'm a subscriber. There's been a couple things that he mentioned along with Dr. Phil. Shout out to Dr. Phil. That I was like, you know what? Hey, right. So with that being said, you already know what it is. Shout out to Clarence Alexander. He said April 13th, huh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 7 a.m. Have your cars ready. You know where we going. We're going to what we like to call the spot. So have your car ready. Get your gloves out. It's going to be real dirty. You know how we get down.
Exclusive.
Only
for the real drivers.
Only for the real drivers. Say that again. Only for the real drivers.
Only for the real drivers.
Let's go. Some of these speeds and greets, you know, we like to sit down and chill out. And other ones, we in the street. This is going to be one in the street. We got a lot of things coming up. So with that being said, we appreciate everybody who tuned in, rocked with us today. Shout to my guy Flip. Shout to Seneca. Appreciate that. He tuned in early. You already know what it is. Shout to Clarence Alexander in the building. Shout to Kev Parade. Good luck on those motor mounts with the Cadillac. Crazy. Shout to Jessica Grandy. Shout to Draco. Shout to Shadow Gamer tuned in. Shout to my guy Tony Brown. Shout to Mr. 2J Castings. Shout to everybody who rocked with us today. Shout to we got a whole host of people that we want to shout out. Shout to Dolph Spalding tuning in early. Shout to my guy Tiny. Shout to Military NYC. And like I said, Kev Parade. We got to make sure we put his new name on him. The Instructor.
Yo, shout out to S.I Shawn. You might not be up, but you in here in spirit. Best believe.
You already know what it is. Shout to Zoom for Zoom. He's tuned in as well. And with that being said, we appreciate everybody who rocked with us. Shout to my guy Dave. Shout to Coach K. Tuned in. Everybody was rocking with us today. Shout to Marlon, the resident Toyota guy. We appreciate everybody who rocked with us today. So with that being said, until next week, my guy Wings Liddy.
I expect to come back because this was fun.
The chair. Trust me, you part of the family. You already know what it is. You part of the family. All you gotta do is pick up the phone. You want to sit in? That sounds good. Trust me, you here. You already know what it is. We're gonna have Nikki Cretella in the building April 12th. I don't want nobody to forget that. One of the biggest DJs out here in the city, and happens to be an avid motorcyclist. So you already know we're gonna have a couple debates.
I will tune in and I will listen. I'll freaking listen.
Let's go. So with that being said, until next week, we are out. Let's
drop the clutch, hit the gas. Rally Radio, where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to planes. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tools. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I Shawn, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in the Rally Radio.
Where the fast life meets the fast lane.